The Smith River, a gem hidden in plain view. Today we are in Henry County and we're going to learn all about the Smith River and hopefully catch a fish. Let's go outdoors. School children gathered on the riverbank. Leaning into a lesson on the brook trout they raised in their classroom, what they eat, and so much more.
So when they put them in the river, if they care about the river and they care about the trout and want them to make it, then hopefully they'll want to protect the river as well. A lot of the students have never done this before. They say that usually this is the best field trip they've ever been on.
The creatures, crayfish and underwater insects that live along the bottom of the Smith River, a wonder to these kids. Those creatures need clean water. The trout need those creatures for food. All of us need rivers, but we need to know we need them.
And that's our Henry County water. We're very fortunate to have really good water, and this river is in really good shape.
Not only does Brian Williams educate school kids, he helps build 13 access points like this one, all part of the Smith River Blueway, which makes the river accessible for the anglers who come from all over the country to fish for larger versions of those babies the kids released. With Smith River Outfitters, guides who make a living taking people like me fishing, we would drift 6.5 miles of the river, starting at the dam where the river flows swift and cold out of the bottom of Philpott Lake.
We're running about 15 to 20 trips a month right now, and our busiest months are coming up May through July, and probably run around 25 to almost maybe 30 that time of year.
Stern seems to know every rock, every turn in the Smith. We are fly fishing, using small imitations that mimic the stonefly nymphs that school group learned about downriver. As I fished, in the back of my mind, a promise from Williams about a target-rich environment.
The trout are getting bigger every year. We've got great trout, and we're actually looking at about 2,000 trout per mile on the Smith River, which is a lot of trout. Catch rate is great. It's one of the best catch rates in Virginia. You will catch trout when you come to this river.
Armed with that knowledge, the casting came with confidence, and several trout fell for those imitation insects. The Smith River's cold water extends about 31 miles from the dam south toward the North Carolina border. Beyond that, the water becomes too warm for trout. It's been famous as a trout river for decades, but the trout can be finicky.
We could confidently say, everybody that comes with us at least catches a few.
For me, it was helpful to go with someone who knows the river's moods, which can change by the hour.
Part of the attraction is the wild brown trout in the Smith. They make up 85% of the trout in the river and 75% of all the species of fish in the river.
Though the river was rising throughout the day because of recent heavy rains and the need to release more water through that dam, the fishing was good. Although there's no photographic proof, I did hook into a couple of those larger brown trout, but just long enough to say so. We can't blame the river for the obvious angler error. As the trees and grasses hem in the river, creating a true sense of isolation and wilderness, so valuable in a world devoted to our digital realities, it's an escape that's never far away, whether you land the big fish or not. There is hope that this waterway stays clean, wild, and full of fish and all those critters they need to survive. That those lessons on the riverbank stick, keeping the river this way for generations to come. Outdoors on the Smith River, John Carlin, 10 News, working for you.